Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League, using my over 20 plus years coaching experience and do many more things in the old footballing world. We won't get into that, but sooner or later I will. We're talking today with Crystal Palace against Manchester City, and I want to show you something here, what we call a pressure pocket. So what we're actually trying to do as a team, so we're taking on the point that we're Crystal Palace and we're defending against Man City. So what we're trying to do is isolate where their forward pass is going to go. And you can see they've got three players here, right? So they're trying to pass it through the middle of the field instead of going wide for some reason, don't know why. And we're trying to create a pressure pocket, our trigger. So when the ball comes into that space, we can all go and press it together. And they can't get out. And if they do get out, what they do is they have to go back to where the ball came from. And we can pressure that point and try to win it and go on the counter-attack. That's what we're trying to do, right? And you can see that look, even that player out wide. So this is what's called bait. We've got him out wide here, but this guy's ready. Look, he actually looks switched on. You can see it until I drew over his face. He's waiting for that ball to go there, where he can quickly press and try to nick it back. And that's what happens here in the middle. This guy, the pass isn't accurate enough. He has to sidestep slightly, so it's completely and utterly lost. And Crystal Palace win possession of the ball. And when they do, from here, there's a couple of little simple passes, and they're straight in. So from when they win it here with centre-back, they play it in, he plays it here, and he knocks it on into the space. He doesn't try to find anyone in particular. Now, there's another problem Man City have currently quite now, no one's really talking about. And one of the major problems they have is no Kyle Walker. He enables them to be able to play this position here, high defensive line, and make mistakes like this, because he's just going to come from about over here and outpace this guy, and he might run over here and have a chat and then come back here and then go over here. That's what Kyle Walker might do and still be first to the ball. In this case, they just put the ball into the space, Oni knocks it, and it turns into a foot race. And here's the difference. These two players were a second ago on the halfway line together, and you can see the difference. He's already miles ahead. He's about 2 yards away from him already, maybe 3, and he's also won the ball, so he's obviously slower as well, and still he's outpaced him at the back. Man City right now are vulnerable at the back. It's Crystal Palace scoring 2 goals on them, that should be worrying for Manchester City, but they still do have the firepower up front, so maybe not. But I just want to concentrate on this goal and concentrate on this finish. So from the halfway line all the way to the 18-yard box, these two Man City players can't even put in a challenge, can't even get close. And the next thing you know, he smashed it into the net box. This is important as well, because I am going to comment on, because normally I just cover the goals. But lately I've been slipping in a couple of other things to show you. I'm going to show you a Jordan Ibe clip where he might have cost his team the game. But quality little finish into the corner. Bosh. Gets himself 1-0 up. Good job. Okay, this is something I've been harping on about for quite a while, and how bad the Premier League is getting. You've got two players trying to win one football there for no reason at all. What are you doing? I just mentioned this in the other video, I think my Aston Villa video, where you've got a defender here who's on the wrong side. He's not goal side. He's not getting in the way, shape, or, he's never winning the ball. His mate slid tackled in here. So with one little movement, this player is going to beat both of these two. Why have you got two players trying to win one football? I'll never understand at this level in a situation like this. Can you do it? Yeah, you can. But not when you're right against, in the corner here, by the corner flag. You've got the touchline helping you here, the sideline helping you. You can't have the wrong side of him, not goal side, trying to win the football, because you're behind him. In the modern day and age, he's going to fall over and win a free kick. So all you're doing is aiding and abetting him to get a free kick. And if you don't challenge and you don't try to win the ball, give him the free kick, what are you doing there? You're not doing anything. So this is simple then. All he has to do is a little pass to Kevin De Bruyne, and all of a sudden, these two players here look completely stupid. Because two players now look stupid instead of one. And the other one, who will run down here, has left this other player completely unmarked. His name's Kevin De Bruyne. That was really intelligent, you idiot. Now you've also got another player. This is the other thing that baffles me, right? You've got two players here trying to mark one player, and you've got one player here doing nothing. And you just go, oh my God, how are you playing football? Where's your manager? I'd be running on here and bashing both of you two clowns. Right, from there, Kevin De Bruyne gets to turn with the football, face up his man, have a little sidestep, off we go, dosh, and smash it into net box. That's how much time he had on the ball inside the 18-yard box, because two people got it wrong, pressured the one, the other guy stood off in the corner, didn't do anything, and now you've just, by the way, good goal. It's a wonder strike from Kevin De Bruyne. You can't knock that. I mean, that's quality. But they've helped him be able to create the space and helped him be able to take that shot. which is unacceptable. Like, if you look at it from this angle here, you can see this is the guy that had the ball, old Jack Grealish. We've got a player here, and a player here, absolutely not doing anything. And we've got 1, 2 players completely unmarked. It's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. But, you know, it baffles the mind. Okay, this is that Jordan Ibe incident I want to cover. Now, he's taking this shot on and he ends up hitting the top bar here instead of giving it, just squaring it to his teammates and getting a simple goal and being 2-1 up. This is the reason why he's not on a top team, because all he saw in his mind's eye was his other teammate did exactly that strike. I'm as good as him. I can do the same thing. All right, that's what weak players and low-level players think. Well, he did it, I can do it. Well, you're right. He did it, I can do it. That is correct. You do want to think of that, but not all of the time. Not when there's a better option on. And when you ignore that better option, that means you don't progress as a footballer. We can't trust you. We can't trust you to make the right pass at the right time. You're going to do something stupid. Now, here's the other thing. If he does score and it does hit the back of the net, yeah, well done. But it doesn't matter. That's what football's about. If you make that decision and get it wrong, it's the wrong decision. If you make that decision you make the wrong decision and get it right and score a goal, it's still the wrong decision. It's very, very sort of nuanced, and you've got to understand that. And here, this is the wrong decision. He has to cross that ball. It has to be a tap-in, and he doesn't do it. Okay, so here we are again with trying to teach idiots what they're doing on the football field. Right, you've got 1v1 here, right? What are you doing? Because you're directly right behind his bum. There's no point you being there. You're in a straight line. So if he gets taken out of the play, you get taken out of the play. You need to come and stagger yourself right there. Do you play everybody onside? Yes. But you also stop him being able to run into that space there. Why? Because it's Jack Grealish, and he plays differently than, say, someone for Brentford or other teams. He wants to get in there because that's what they want to do. They want to cut the ball back from this half space. So if you're already in it, because the ball's this close. Now, if the ball's here, you don't want to be there because you're too deep. But he's not. He's right here. And you can see that. And you being in line with him doesn't help at all. You need to get into there and cut that space off before he starts to exploit the space. Let's see what happens. Oh, look, he goes straight there. Now, both of you are still in a straight line. Neither of you are doing a damn thing. One of you's too far away to make a challenge. The other one's just, I don't know, what are you doing? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And when the ball goes across here, we can see how many players Man City have got in the box. Look, we've got 1, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got, and one right outside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's only really one person marking there. We've got 4 here doing nothing. Guess how they score? It's called numbers, people. That's why it's so important. Because when the ball drops, chances are there's a percentage chance it's going to fall to somebody in your team shirt over their team shirt. And that's what you're looking at doing. You've got 4 players here doing absolutely nothing. Not picking up, not marking, not stopping the cross, not doing anything. When the ball comes across, it's headed away, but there's 3 Man City players that's waiting where it's dropped to. Just because of sheer numbers, and you get your finish. That is unacceptable at this level. 1, 2, 3, 4 players still marking nobody. Okay, now we're again another 1v1 situation that we've only lost at every single time I've watched it. Right, so now is Grealish going to go down into the outside or onto the outside? You need to try to force him, right? See which decision he makes. If he makes a decision, you have to come and shut that gap. This is the door shutter, right? So as soon as you're beaten, right? Because this guy's getting beaten every time. As soon as he beats you, you have to come around and cover again. You can't try to continue to tackle because he's beaten you. And all you're doing is stopping the next guy tackling you. Tackling Jack Grealish. If you come to get involved after he's beaten you, all you're doing is telling the other player that should close the door and shut the gap not to come. Let's watch. So right here, he's cut inside. This player now, look at him. He's stood still, he's frozen, and he needs to be right in on there when trying to win that football because he's beaten this player here. And then this player basically recovers for him. So what happens is he comes in, blah, 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 and he starts going blah, 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 not without taking his eye off the ball. He still looks at the ball. He can still jog backwards and see if he needs to come in. You do not stand there like a statue, like a deer in the headlights. Because what ends up happening is this. A little pass beats both of you because both of you can't tackle him. Well, one of you could, but you stood there like a deer in the headlights and the other one was already beaten. And now Kevin De Bruyne receives the ball. And then let's look at the numbers again. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the box. Is any of them marked? Haaland kind of is. But pretty much everybody else is kind of on the run or free. Let's see what happens where the ball ends up. One of the rules of cash in the Premier League, if you haven't watched my channel before, is this guy's got his hand up. So in about 5 seconds, we're about to score a goal. Someone is, because if you've got your hand up, you are not focused on the ball in the game. You're not paying attention. You've got about 80% of your brain on the game and 20% on complaining to the referee. You need to have a 100% of your brain focused on the game, because you are not good enough without having 100% of your brain focused on the game. Complaining this guy's offside, look, this guy's offside, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, play the game of football, mate. Play the game. And here's the sad thing. Haaland's here mocked. He's the only one that comes in and gets the goal between two players. Everyone complains to the linesman, and if they just did their jobs, maybe they would have shot the ball out in the first place. But they didn't. Let's get on to the next goal. Again, these two guys are going to get beaten 2v1 because they don't really know how to defend 2v1, and they make idiotic, rash decisions like you're about to see. So, we're noticing he can't really go for the ball, right? We can see that. We see he can. Why? Because he's goal side, he can go. So as soon as he starts going, he needs to start coming in and covering for his teammate, because he knows his teammate is going out to basically do his job, because he's been done in the space in behind by Grealish and the pass. Okay, fair. So that's what we need to happen. You go to the ball, I'll come in and cover for you. We both can't go to the ball because we'll get beaten. No, they both run towards the ball. This guy's got no idea, because if he's covering, basically what he should be doing then is looking to come into this gap here and make sure that that pass can't go to him, because his mate is now doing his job there. Okay, fine. But his mate doesn't. What his mate does instead is he dives, whoosh, completely makes up this guy's decision. And because he's so close, because he's got too tight to him, he's opened up this space here. Do we see that? Because he's panicked and run down here and doesn't know what to do, where he should have just been covering for his mate, who's now made himself look a prat, dived on the floor. He would have been able to cut this pass out. When this pass goes across, whoosh, he doesn't cut the pass off. He lets it go straight across him, straight over here to another unmarked player inside their box, to another unmarked player coming on the run here. And it's old Kevin De Bruyne again with another fantastic strike to have another great, goal. But here we go. Whapa! He gets 2 points if he does make the sound effects. If he doesn't, technically, he should be VAR reviewed and taken off. Let's get on to the next goal. I'm not going to play much here because this is quite simple. This is just a simple ball out wide, and this wee man's using his pace. Again, because there's no Kyle Walker. City are vulnerable at the back. If you've got a bit of pace, you can get in behind. This is just a simple ball into the space, bit of a run. No one's really tracking, and there's a near post flick on. That's it. It's a simple goal. They could have done this all day if they were actually trying to just play in the space. Is it tiring? Yes. Would you have to make some subs? Yes. Could you have your guys running all day on that? No, you couldn't. But you might get some more chance. Here's the flicker on the near post. In it goes. Nice and simple. Other than that, there's not really much to break down here that I normally would do, just because of the way the goals have been scored. But I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.